Hello, Foundry community. Wanted to do a initial overview of all the installation steps as well as any pitfalls people might encounter for this version 1 release for Terminal. This is what the GitHub page for that looks like. This is where you would want to go to if you want to file any issues. github.com/codable/terminal. And the first place you're going to want to go to purchase this is going to be itch.io. I'll have a link for that in the GitHub page, but it's going to be codable.itch.io/terminal. And when you go there, you're going to see a page like this. Probably going to change a lot, honestly, but at the bottom you'll see a buy button. I do recommend creating an itch.io account. That'll keep access to the download and it's not actually a download link, it's a content key that you'll have access to. And you can purchase this without an account though. If you really want to, put an email in there. You will need to keep that email stored somewhere. If you do have any issues activating the content key, you can purchase with PayPal or with card. Once you go through that, you'll be able to follow the thing they emailed you, which will look like this, where you'll be able to go into the download page that itch.io will give you if you were making an itch.io account. And you can click this get download key button, which will give you something like this. And you can copy that and go to foundry.com. Not foundry.com. I keep saying .com for everything. foundryvtt.com/me/purchases. And that will look something like this. You want to put in your content key that you got from itch.io and activate it. And you should get some kind of positive toast message saying it's been activated. You'll see it down here in activated content. This is my account here, and I do have it already activated, so it shows up there. And then on any Foundry instance that has your purchase license input into it, it'll know which account is yours, and you'll have all this activated content available to you to activate. So we can now go over to an actual completely fresh instance of Foundry, and it should show up there as a module after you go in the setup and go to install and put in terminal. It'll show up there when you search it, and then once you actually launch into a world, you will activate that module. And this is for version 11. It's going to look different for version 10. I haven't actually been able to verify yet version 10, but I'll be doing that shortly. Okay, now we have that activated, so we're going to actually do some initial setup here. I'm going to create an actor called test. I'm going to create a journal, name it whatever. I'm going to add a page to it. This one actually has a name I wanted to give it. And I have some HTML type stuff I'm putting in there, and that looks all good to me. So the first step is going to be to create a tile. So I'm going to create a tile here, and this will be my terminal space. You might want to give this an actual image to make it look like a terminal. And there'll be a grayed out message here that says create tile must be done before you can edit the terminal settings. So we're going to create tile and then double click to go back into the settings. And then now we can see the actual terminal settings there. And we are going to enable that, meaning anytime any tokens walk onto this, they're going to be activating that terminal, opening that window. And we're going to assign a journal. This one is called test that we just made. And we're going to walk onto that with this guy here. does have the default color and ASCII art, and this has one page in it. So we click on that page and we can see the HTML we just put in there. And a lot of this other stuff is likely to change, but you can change the color. If you wanted to make it any type of other color, or change the ASCII art. I'll probably go into those more in some kind of feature video, but this one's mainly just to get you through any kind of pitfalls. See what else. You do want to, let me show. You can test what this actually looks like to other players. I think they can be either player or untrusted player, it doesn't really matter. So I have another window here. Try to get these side by side. We have player 2 that just joined here. Let's actually give this test character ownership for player 2. So he can now move that, and he's going to move onto it. And when he hits the close here, you can reveal it or you can keep it private. If you want to keep that private, nothing actually changes. And you can see back on the GM's view, he made himself as an observer just by walking onto it, and he's going to have that journal available to him now, where it was on none for ownership before. But if he goes on and see, this is on none and observer now. If he goes and he reveals it, he actually puts everyone on observer. But that is something to be aware of. You have other users and their permissions that get changed. And then as something gets revealed like that, it'll actually put out in the chat, test has been discovered. That's something that's not completely obvious, because if you're walking onto it as a GM, it recognizes that you're a GM and there's no real permissions to be changing, and you don't really have the actual option for changing the permissions for that. Okay, I think I've covered through a lot of the potential pitfalls for this. So yeah, you can, if you do run into something, go ahead and go to this address here, github.com/codable/terminal, and you can go to the issues tab here, and you can click new issue. If it's a bug or a feature, feel free at any time to be trying to request features. I'm going to be very open to supporting this years down the line. So yeah, you can, anything you want to, just get that started and go through how to reproduce the issue that you ran into. Screenshots are nice, of course. Definitely give me the version for your Foundry. And then all worlds now require a game system, so put in the game system, what browser you're using, and the version. You can typically get to that by going to like a help screen and then about, and then I'm running Firefox, so this has my Firefox version. You can put that right in there. Any other modules you have, I know this probably have a huge list, so this is a little bit more optional, but you could take a screenshot to make it a little easier on yourself there. But yeah, that would help with any issues you run into. I'll should be able to get anything out, you know, that month that it gets reported or earlier. But yeah, you could create itch.io account and follow Codable, and should be able to get any kind of update out to you guys as far as when this gets any kind of changes to it. All right.